Hey guys, this is Amit and you are watching Tech Dad. In this video, we are going to compare between Poco X3 Pro versus Realme X3 SuperZoom. And we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips, and about the prices. And in the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let the comparison start with the camera of the devices. Talking about the rear camera of the devices, X3 Pro have quad camera setup, 48 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor, whereas SuperZoom comes with quad camera setup, 64 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 8 megapixel of telephoto camera and 2 megapixel of macro camera. So the winner here is SuperZoom because it has 64 megapixel of wide camera and telephoto camera. And about the front camera of the devices, X3 Pro have 20 megapixel of wide camera and SuperZoom have dual camera setups, 32 megapixel of wide camera and 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera. So the winner here is SuperZoom because it have dual camera setup at the front of the device, which can take low noisy photos in low light condition. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. X3 Pro have dual LED flash, HDR and panorama, whereas SuperZoom have LED flash, HDR and panorama. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it has dual LED flash. And about the video recording options on the devices, X3 Pro can shoot 4K video max at 30 fps, Full HD video max at 240 fps with gyro electronic image stabilization, and SuperZoom can shoot 4K video max at 30 fps, Full HD video max at 60 fps with gyro electronic image stabilization. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it can record in high fps. Moving to the performance of the devices, let's start with the operating system of the devices. X3 Pro have Android 11 support. On the other side, SuperZoom also have Android 11 support. So it's a tie here. And about the user interface of the devices, X3 Pro have MIUI specially designed for Poco, whereas SuperZoom have Realme UI. So it's a tie here because both of the user interface have different UI. So it's up to you which UI you like it or not, it's up to you. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. X3 Pro is powered by Snapdragon 860 based on 7nm processor, whereas SuperZoom is powered by a Snapdragon 855 Plus based on 8nm processor. So the clear winner here is X3 Pro because it has fastest processing speed. And about the GPU of the devices, X3 Pro is packed with Adreno 640 whereas SuperZoom is packed with Adreno 640. So clearly it's a tie because both of the devices can give you same FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. X3 Pro can clock at 2.96 GHz based on octa-core Creo chipset, whereas SuperZoom can also clock at 2.96 GHz based on octa-core Creo chipset. So I will call it a tie because both of the devices have same clock speed. And about the RAM variants in the devices, X3 Pro comes with two RAM variants, 6 and 8 GB of RAM variants, whereas SuperZoom have two RAM variants, 8 and 12. So the winner here is SuperZoom because it have high capacity of RAM. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. X3 Pro comes with two storage options, 128 and 256 GB, whereas SuperZoom also have two storage options, 128 and 256 GB. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have faster read and write speed. And about the external storage of the devices, X3 Pro have external card slot, but it uses shared SIM slot, whereas SuperZoom did not have any. So the winner here is X3 Pro. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. X3 Pro have 6.67 inches of display. In the other side, SuperZoom have 6.6 inches of display. So I will call it a tie here because both of the devices have approximately the same display size. And about the screen to body ratio of the devices, X3 Pro have approximately 84.6%, where SuperZoom have 84.7%. So again, it's a tie because both of the devices have approximately the same ratio. Let's talk about the screen resolution of the devices. X3 Pro comes with Full HD Plus display. In the other side, SuperZoom also have Full HD Plus display. So I will call it a tie. And about the display type of the devices, X3 Pro have IPS LCD display having 120Hz of refresh rate with HDR10 support, and SuperZoom have IPS LCD display having 120Hz of refresh rate. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have HDR10 support which can produce vibrant colors. Moving to the body features of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. X3 Pro have 9.4 mm of thickness whereas SuperZoom have 8.9 mm of thickness. So the winner here is SuperZoom because it have slimmer body. Talking about the weight of the devices, X3 Pro comes with 215 grams of weight, whereas SuperZoom have 202 grams of weight. So the winner here is SuperZoom because of lighter body weight it have. And about the protective glass of the devices, X3 Pro have Gorilla Glass 6, whereas SuperZoom have Gorilla Glass 5. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have newer generation of glass, which is more durable than its older generation. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. X3 Pro have glass back with plastic frame, whereas SuperZoom have glass back with plastic frame. So it's a tie here because both of the devices have same solid build quality. And about the SIM options in the devices, both of the devices have dual nano SIM support, so it's a tie. Moving to some of the most important features of the devices, let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. X3 Pro have side mounted fingerprint scanner, in the other side SuperZoom have side mounted fingerprint scanner. So I will call it a tie. And about the sensors in the devices, X3 Pro have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass, whereas SuperZoom also have accelerometer, proximity, gyroscope and compass. So I will call it a tie. Let's talk about the battery capacity of the devices. X3 Pro have 5160 mAh of battery, whereas SuperZoom also have 4200 mAh of battery. So without a doubt, the winner here is X3 Pro because it have bigger battery capacity. Let's talk about the charging speed of the devices. X3 Pro have 33 watts of fast charging, whereas SuperZoom have 30 watts of fast charging. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have faster charging speed, which can charge up your device faster. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. X3 Pro have stereo speakers, whereas SuperZoom have normal speakers. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it can produce immersive sound. And about the headphone jack of the devices, X3 Pro have 3.5mm of headphone jack, whereas SuperZoom did not have any. So the winner here is X3 Pro. Moving to the communication chips in the devices. Starting with the WLAN of the devices, both of the devices comes with Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct and hotspot. So it's a tie. And about the Bluetooth version of the devices, X3 Pro have 5th generation of Bluetooth, whereas SuperZoom also have 5th generation of Bluetooth. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same generation of Bluetooth. Let's talk about the positioning chips in the devices. X3 Pro have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS, whereas SuperZoom have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS with some other chips. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have some other chips. So the winner here is SuperZoom because it have some other chips. And about the USB connectivity of the devices, X3 Pro have 2nd gen of Type-C connector with OTG support, whereas SuperZoom also have 2nd gen of Type-C connector. So again, the winner here is X3 Pro because it have OTG support. Moving to the prices of the devices. In the international market, starting range of X3 Pro is around $220, where SuperZoom is available from $360. In the Indian market, X3 Pro have starting range from 17,500 rupees, where SuperZoom is available from 24,000 rupees. So the conclusion of the video is, in the camera the winner is SuperZoom, in the performance the winner is X3 Pro, in the display the winner is X3 Pro, in the body segment the winner is X3 Pro, in the features of the device the winner is X3 Pro, in the communication chips it's a tie, and about the prices the winner is X3 Pro. So the decision is totally yours. Which device you like the most so far, and let me know in the comment below what do you think, which device is better for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content, please like our video, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what's your thought in the comment below. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please like our page TechDad, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Amit and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.